If you run a brand, you know how bad it is when you run pre-drop ads and none of them work, or you have a drop, you're excited to drop it. You do some preparing, but it doesn't go as well as you want. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to run pre-drop ads for your e-commerce brand. And this is basically going to help you generate high quality traffic optimized for future conversion when you end up dropping. So first of all, let's go into what is a pre-drop campaign. These are ads before your product or collection drops, and this is designed to build a warm pool of high intent traffic that you retarget at launch. And the goal isn't immediate sales, but it's building a pipeline for drop day. It's really important to understand this because a lot of people think that you're supposed to be getting sales here, and that's not exactly what this is for. So what most brands will do is they'll drop the product, they'll run cold ads at full price, and then they'll kind of just hope it works. And that's just not how that works at all. And then, obviously the ROAS isn't great, but what you should be doing instead is running pre-drop ads, building a warm pool of and good audience, retargeting them at launch, and you should have your cold audiences and your warm audiences together, and then you'll have a higher day one ROAS. Also throwing an offer in there, I didn't really include that. But when it comes to picking the right campaign objective, there's a couple things you want to look out for. So engagement or video views is the cheapest way to build a retargeting pool, and you can use this for, pre-drop traffic, just traffic specifically. This is just awareness, just is completely awareness. There's nothing having to do with the conversion when it comes to engagement or video views. When you go over here, you have lead gen, and this is specifically for email signups. This is capturing emails and building a pixel pool at the same time, and you can basically stack both of these. Avoid any sales or conversion because obviously there's nothing to sell here yet. You haven't dropped yet. So next, we're going to go into kind of creative angles that can build hype and kind of help you a lot because, obviously just having the campaign structure isn't going to do anything if you don't have the creatives to be inside of the campaign. So first of all, I would think behind the scenes creatives are the best because when you're building something and when you're going to drop that thing out to your brand, whether it's a product, whatever it is, designing, sampling, fitting, this is going to build trust and curiosity because you're showing the process of how you're making it, and people want to be a part of that. So when you're showing that out on the ads, just out there, and then you have, an email sign up for when it drops. People are going to be curious. Next is sneak peeks, another really good thing to build curiosity. This is, partial reveals, blurred shots, close-ups. This will just keep the customers wanting more and wanting to know, what are they dropping? What's this thing that they're hyping up? Next is just founder stories. I've seen a lot of people do this, and it's just the founder explaining why are they dropping this? Why are they dropping it now? And it's just the owner explaining the reasoning behind everything. And I feel like when it's somebody talking rather than the brand doing the messaging, customers can relate to the founder more because it's an actual person. But just having that personal connection can help you a lot here. So next, let's go into building the warm audience pool. So these are different audiences that you can retarget for drop day. So, obviously the video viewers for your reels, any videos in general, just 50%, if they watch 50%, 75%, 95%, these are just high intent people that have watched throughout all your videos, and they're probably high quality buyers. Page engagers, likes, comments, saves, shares, you can retarget all of this in the Meta Ads Manager. And when they do these actions, it's just an insight on if they are high quality and high intent for your brand and a possible customer. So then you got email signups. This is honestly the highest intent thing because if they're signing up for the email, that means they went to the website, put in their email, and they are 99% a qualified buyer. And then website visitors is another thing that you can do if you have a coming soon page, which I feel like you should have that. And that kind of ties in with the email signups because the email signup should be on the website. And then each tier should get different messaging at drop time because each tier is a different stage in awareness in the funnel. So if somebody watched 50% of a video in an Instagram reel, and that was the only thing they watched, and then there was another person that signed up for the email, those intent levels are very different. One of them only watched 50% of a reel, and one of them signed up for an email. They went to the website, they saw your Instagram in that process of signing up for the email. There's a lot of different ways you can think about this, but you need to make sure each tier getting different messaging because everyone is at a different intent level when it comes to buying. And then this is the timeline and kind of just when to run what. So I would say 14 to 21 days out, engagement and video view ads. You have this wide net, wide funnel. You have a cold audience, you're bringing in people, and that's the main goal. And then 7 to 14 days out, you can start running these lead gen ads, capturing people's emails and launching with kind of an incentive to grab their email. This is going to be a really important phase because the emails are going to be very valuable to you on drop day. And then finally, drop day, you can switch to these conversion ads. You can retarget your warm pool first, and then you can start to scale cold after, a couple days of the drop. That is a very basic understanding of this, but common mistakes that a lot of people have. Let's get into those right now. This is running a sales and conversion objective with no product live. The Pixel has no purchase events to optimize against, so it burns budget on signals that literally mean nothing. Run engagement or lead gen until launch and then flip to sales on drop day. Another big mistake that people make is they start too late. They'll start 3 to 5 days before launch, and the Pixel needs at least 7 to 14 days to build a meaningful retargeting pool, and your warm audiences need reps to actually remember the brand. Anything under 14 days, cold ads are basically dressed up as warm ads, and you need a clear funnel and a clear understanding of where everyone's at, and doing everything really early kind of crushes everything together. My bad, doing everything late crushes everything together. It's kind of a small one, but revealing the full product and pre-drop creatives, if they see everything before the launch, then there's not really a reason for them to come back on drop day other than to actually, buy the product. I would say, tease things, tease the fabric, tease the packaging, the designs, why the founder is dropping this. Never really the full thing. This just obviously keeps people interested and wondering what's going to happen on that drop day. Then Riss is running one ad set to one audience. Pre-drop creative needs the same diversity as launch creative. Behind the scenes, sneak peeks, founder POV to hit different awareness levels. One angle is only going to one type of person targeted. This is kind of what we talked about above when it comes to different people are in different stages of awareness. Treating all warm traffic the same on drop day. This is basically the same example I gave earlier. A 95% video viewer and an email signup gets a different message from someone who watched 3 seconds. And you have to be building separate ads for high intent and low intent and messaging them accordingly to, the different people. That is very important, and you should not be mixing those up. This is another big one, no coming soon page. You need to be sending your traffic somewhere off of your Instagram or wherever you're mainly promoting this. And you need to have an opt-in page. When you have no page, you have no email list, you have nothing. You have no leverage on drop day. You can't send them an email. You can't send them a text. There's nothing for you to do there, and that's not great. Going over all of that, I hope it made sense. And then now we can kind of go down here. If you do this right, you walk into drop day with a full list of full people, already half sold, already know you exist. And yeah, this is a very light video on how this works. But if you want me to walk through this for your brand, send me a DM on my Instagram. It is in the description, or you can book a call with me in the description and I'll show you how to set it up yourself, or we can run it together. Depends how you'd like it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you out, and leave any comments down below with any questions. Peace.